so we have still several more parts to go. We're going to start passing these out. If you want to take one, there's probably enough, almost enough for one for everybody, but some people might have to share. And then we're not going to pass these out right now, but I want everybody to take a look at it. We're going to have them by the door. Grab one on the way out. This is a little tiny zine that Alicia Garza made that is specifically talking to white folks in the Black Lives Matter movement, and it has a lot of kind of like do's and don'ts of what's appropriate or how to be accountable to this particular movement. So take one as you're walking out the door, and hopefully that will answer a lot of questions.
I think some of them were printed on already used paper, so it has stuff in that.
I don't know if that's pictures.
Oh, it's nice in that.
Yeah, one of the sides of the paper is probably scrap paper. So if you have two that are stapled together, that's what it is.
Yeah. If you have a really confusing other side, just ignore it. Ran out of paper. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do?
Joe's like looking over Brittany's shoulder. What's happening?
We're looking at the picture. So what we're gonna do, I think a lot of the things, we have a whole bunch of different tools and kind of divided into different levels of things that are really fast and easy to do, things that will make a kind of one-time short-term difference, or things that might be a longer process. And a lot of it is about educating each other and educating ourselves. And I think some of the questions you all came up with about how to hold ourselves accountable, I think a lot of that just comes from really continued education on many different levels. So anyways, what we wanted to have you all do is actually just look over the handouts right now, read through all the different tools and suggestions in there, and circle 3 right now that you think you can do or start to do in the next 3 weeks.
So this is just for you, if you want to check in with your friend next to you, but you're just looking this over, you're reflecting for yourself, what can you do? If you didn't get one, if you just want to find somebody who has one, you can look over their shoulder and take some notes. We're going to be emailing this out to you all as well, so if you don't have one to take home with you today, we will send it to you in the next few days. An extra one?
If somebody needs it.
Do you need one?
All right, so hopefully you all actually went through and circled a few things that you think you can do in the next couple of weeks. Does anybody want to shout out some of the things that you personally are going to take on doing in the next couple of weeks, or that you'd like to take on and you want to find other people in Gainesville that are going to be able to do that with you?
Throw a party.
Throw a party. Throw a party for what? As a fundraiser?
Yeah.
All right. She's throwing a party.
I'm going to donate to the Dream Defenders.
Awesome.
Form study groups.
Form study groups. Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. So you think that you're interested in taking on forming a study group?
If anyone wants to be in a study group, talk to this person over here.
Who is it?
Marcus.
Awesome. What else are people doing in the next 3 weeks?
I want to invite people to the Black History Festival.
you go ahead. It's important. It is. It's important.
I want to come up front.
Come up front.
And can somebody give an introduction to who Carol is? This is serious. For those of you who don't know that description was actually given to Carol. Somebody else. Most dangerous woman in Gainesville.
I want to know more.
Yeah, details.
I got right
Okay,
This woman, Carol Thomas, in the 1960s was arrested, jailed, and tear gassed in jail for having interracial meetings at her house. Part of the civil rights movement here in town forever, had moved away, came back to town, moved into the city of Alachua, and started making a lot of things happen up there with her dear friend Connie Canny and Michael. She doesn't quit.
I just want to talk to you briefly. In 1994, there was a statute passed, believe it or not, by the Florida Tallahassee
Legislature.
cabal. And it was to infuse black history and African American history into the curriculum of every school board in the county, in the state of Florida. There's 67 of them. And it was to cover kindergarten to the 12th grade. Well, there were no penalties if you didn't do it. And so it didn't fly. In about 2001 or 2, when I came back, I went to the NAACP meeting that was statewide, and their statewide project for the year was to get this moving, to have African and African American history infused into the curriculum of every county. It didn't go anywhere then either. Tallahassee appointed a representative from each school district in the state, and they were tasked with developing, as a catalyst in every county. Well, they were fought by every school superintendent in the state. I think Miami and about 4 or 5 other counties did implement a program to do that. To fast forward, Khalid Blount for years has gone before the school board and made this demand. Well, people didn't back him up. And this year in May, at the Black Liberation meeting that Faye Henderson organized, it was brought up that maybe this should be a project of the African Liberation Project to have this program infused. So we began organizing, and we set some dates for confronting the school board, and then Superintendent Roberts got hired. And we had a huge meeting with him on October of probably, at that time it was 50 people. He expected 4 people to show up. 50 came to the school board. And the people were interested. It was interracial. And then after that, we had a meeting in October, I think. Somebody help me, October the 20th.
there like a slide?
I know.
I know. I'm trying to be discreet.
I am too. I'm trying to be speedy.
There's a meeting.
There is a meeting, but it's important that everybody be at this meeting in this. Gosh, you got me down.
I'm sorry.
Saturday, the 31st of October. We're dealing. I mean.
That's some advance notice.
Hey, I was so fast, I went right by it. January 2015. It's at 3 o'clock. It's at the main library over here, and it's in conference room B. And if you all come, the time 2 o'clock.
I don't think it is.
It's 2 o'clock.
Where can you get more information about it?
Pass around.
They're gonna sign that paper.
So we're signing up on that paper.
Well, you know, we were supposed to have some leaflets.
Well, we're gonna pass around this paper, and then we're gonna send an email out to all of you with resources and things like that, and we can also include the upcoming events that we're
This
talking
is 2
about.
o'clock, isn't it?
It's 2 o'clock. From 2 to 3:30. All right, we'll pass around the paper. And
Where-
everybody be on the
Downtown library.
Where in the library?
conference room B.
Okay, so getting back on the agenda, please sign up and go to this event. It sounds very important. Thank you for announcing it.
How many people
It is very
raise your hand
important.
if you're gonna be able to go to it?
Yay.
On the
Okay.
31st you're talking about?
Yeah. Awesome. So part of your things you're doing in the next 3 weeks is coming to this event.
There we go.
Holly is one of the chair people in that committee. Faye Williams is another, and Cassandra Morrison is also one of the members, is one of the chairs of the meeting. So I urge you to come and help us. And we, again, one more thing. White folks need to learn about their culture. That's the most, black consciousness struggled to bring black people to where they are, to come as a people and engage as a movement. White people need to do that and understand their place in the world and how we can act in solidarity with other movements, because we're a minority, folks. And we have oppressed and exploited and murdered and destroyed, and we have a lot of dues to pay.
So
What do I write on this paper?
Your name and your email and phone number.
name, email, and phone number on the sign-up list. So that's awesome, and I'm sure there's a lot more things that we're all going to do in the next 3 weeks to help even figure that out even a little bit more. We're going to continue our critical look at Gainesville locally and our organizations.
So we're gonna take a little bit of time right now. Just turn back to those small groups that you were in when you did the timeline activity earlier, but not right
Don't
now.
turn yet.
First, let me give you the next instructions. So, what we want you to do is this time you're going to be reflecting. First, take a minute or two to look at these questions and reflect on your own organizing, the organization you work with, your own involvement in the movements. So you're going to be for about 5 minutes right now before you move into your groups. Just reflecting on these questions. In what ways do the issues you or your group choose to work on and choose not to prioritize perpetuate white privilege, for one, right? Go through these and answer them in yourself. I'm going to tell you in about 5 minutes to turn into your groups. And from there, you're going to be answering some questions that I'm going to put on the next slide. So start with this, okay? 5 minutes. Okay, so as you kind of wrap up, reflecting on these questions for yourself, I want you to go ahead and turn in your small groups, the same small groups you're working before. This time, there's a group of people who are organizing this workshop who are sort of our co-facilitators, and there's going to be one person in each group. And in those small groups, you're going to debrief these questions together. So you're going to discuss what came up for you, what do you see as ways that your organization or you can prioritize racial justice now, what have you done in the past, how do you perpetuate systems of white supremacy through your organization, right? And we're going to try to be really real about reflecting on ourselves and our organizations in that way. So go ahead and break out, and I'll call you back together in a few minutes for the next steps.